Have you ever had that feeling where you just can't stop thinking about someone? Like they're on your mind 24/7, playing on repeat like your favorite song? Except this song is stuck on rewind and you can't seem to hit the play button on life? Whether it's someone you're crushing on hard, an ex that you just can't seem to shake off, or even just a friend that you haven't seen in a while, these thoughts can be all-consuming. They can creep up on you at any time, during work, while you're hanging out with friends, or even in your dreams. So in this video, we're going to dive deep into the reasons why you might be struggling to get someone off your mind. Okay, first up, let's talk about unresolved feelings. Sometimes we can't stop thinking about someone because there are things left unsaid, emotions left unexpressed, or maybe even just a lack of closure. It's like that last piece of pizza in the box. You know you should probably just throw it out, but there's a part of you that just can't let it go. These unresolved feelings can manifest in different ways. Maybe you had a disagreement with this person and never really patched things up, or perhaps you had feelings for them that you never expressed, and now they're stuck on a loop in your head. Whatever the reason, these unresolved emotions can be like a weight on your shoulders, keeping you tethered to the past. Think of it like this. Imagine you have a backpack, and every time you have an unresolved issue with someone, you shove a rock in there. Over time, that backpack's going to get heavier and heavier, making it harder to move forward. So, how do you lighten the load? Well, sometimes the best thing you can do is try to find some closure. Maybe it's about writing down your feelings in a journal, having a conversation with a trusted friend, or even just mentally acknowledging and accepting the situation. Remember, holding on to resentment, anger, or even unspoken affection can keep you stuck in the past. It's like trying to drive a car with one foot on the gas and the other on the brake. You're not going to get very far. All right, next up, let's talk about the click factor. You know that feeling when you meet someone and you just vibe with them? It's like you're on the same wavelength, you share the same sense of humor, and conversations flow effortlessly. You just get each other. Well, that, my friends, is a strong connection, and it's one of the main reasons why we can't stop thinking about someone. When we experience a strong connection with another person, our brains release a cocktail of feel-good hormones like dopamine and oxytocin. These hormones are like the chemical messengers of love and connection, and they can be highly addictive. Seriously, it's like our brains get hooked on these positive vibes, and we crave more. This explains why we often find ourselves thinking about people we've had an instant connection with. We replay those fun conversations in our heads, we smile at the memory of their laugh, and we anticipate the next time we might get to experience that connection again. But here's the thing. A strong connection doesn't always mean it's meant to be. Sometimes, these connections fizzle out, circumstances change, or maybe it just wasn't meant to be anything more than a fleeting moment of magic. Enjoy the connection, appreciate the shared energy, but don't put too much pressure on it to be something it's not. Remember, sometimes the most beautiful connections are the ones that teach us the most about ourselves, even if they don't last forever. Let's get real for a second. How many of you have scrolled through old photos or reminisced about the good old days when you were feeling down or lonely? Yeah, me too. It's called nostalgia, and it can be a powerful force, especially when it comes to our thoughts. Nostalgia is that bittersweet feeling we get when we think about happy memories from the past. It's like a warm hug from the inside out. And when we're feeling down, lonely, or even just a little bit lost, our minds naturally gravitate towards these comforting memories. But here's the catch: nostalgia can also keep us stuck in the past. We might be forgetting about the not-so-good times, the challenges, and the reasons why things ended in the first place. It's like watching an old movie on repeat. You know every line, every scene, and every plot twist. But just like that old movie, the past is over. We can't change it, and we can't relive it. So how do we break free from the nostalgia trap? Well, it's all about finding a balance between cherishing the past and embracing the present. All right, let's be honest. In the age of social media and instant communication, it's easier than ever to stay connected with people, even if we don't see them regularly. But here's the thing. Even the smallest interactions can have a big impact on our thoughts. Think about it. You're scrolling through your Instagram feed and you see a post from that someone. Or maybe you're going through your old text messages and you stumble upon a conversation thread. Suddenly, they're back in your head. like a song that gets stuck on repeat after just one listen. These recent interactions, no matter how small, can trigger a cascade of thoughts and emotions. It's like our brains get a little ping of reminder, and suddenly, we're back to thinking about them, analyzing their every word and action. This is especially true if the interaction was positive or left us wanting more. Maybe they complimented you, or you had a particularly engaging conversation. These positive interactions can fuel our desire for more, leading to even more obsessive thoughts. But here's the thing. These recent interactions don't necessarily mean anything significant. Let's be real, in the age of Instagram filters, perfectly curated feeds, and the pressure to portray the perfect life online, it's easy to fall into the trap of comparison. We see people's highlight reels, their vacations, their relationships, their successes, and we start to question our own lives. And when we're feeling insecure or inadequate, it's easy to fixate on someone who seems to have it all figured out. Social media can be a breeding ground for obsessive thoughts. When we constantly see someone's curated life online, we might start to idealize them and their life. We might even start to compare our own lives to theirs, leading to feelings of envy, inadequacy, and even self-doubt. It's important to remember that social media is not real life. It's a highlight reel, a carefully constructed narrative designed to present the best possible version of ourselves to the world. What we see online is often a far cry from reality. So, how do we combat the social media influence? First and foremost, be mindful of your consumption. If you find yourself constantly comparing yourself to others or feeling envious of their seemingly perfect lives, it might be time to take a step back from social media. Focus on your own journey, your own goals, and your own happiness. Have you ever found yourself constantly checking your phone, hoping for a text or a call? Or maybe you've obsessively refreshed their social media profiles just to see if they've posted anything new? Yeah, that's the fear of missing out, also known as FOMO, rearing its ugly head. FOMO is that nagging feeling that we're missing out on something better, something more exciting, or something more fulfilling. It's that voice in our heads that whispers, "What if?" When it comes to relationships, FOMO can be particularly powerful. We might start to worry that the person we're interested in is moving on, meeting someone new, or having amazing experiences without us. And that fear of missing out can lead to obsessive thoughts and behaviors. We might start to overanalyze their every move, stalk their social media profiles, or even try to insert ourselves into their lives in an attempt to stay relevant. But here's the thing. FOMO is often based on irrational thoughts and assumptions. We're so caught up in the fear of missing out that we forget to appreciate what we have in our own lives. Instead of worrying about what everyone else is doing, focus on your own goals, your own passions, and your own happiness. Sometimes, the reason we can't stop thinking about someone is much simpler than we think. It's not about unresolved feelings, social media influence, or even the fear of missing out. Sometimes, it's just the realization that our feelings run deeper than we initially thought. It's that aha moment when we realize that this person isn't just a fleeting thought, a passing crush, or a temporary distraction. It's the realization that we genuinely care about them, that we value their presence in our lives, and that we might even be falling for them. This realization can be both exhilarating and terrifying. On the one hand, it's exciting to realize that we have such strong feelings for someone. It's a reminder that we're capable of deep connection, love, and vulnerability. But on the other hand, it can also be scary. Opening ourselves up to someone, allowing ourselves to be vulnerable, and admitting our true feelings can be risky. Our feelings might not be reciprocated. So there you have it, 7 reasons why you might be struggling to get someone off your mind. From unresolved baggage to the irresistible pull of a strong connection, we've covered a lot of ground. Remember, understanding the root cause of these persistent thoughts is the first step to managing them. Now we want to hear from you. Have you ever experienced this? What helped you move on? Share your experiences, tips, and even your most relatable stuck-on repeat stories in the comments. Remember, we're all in this together. And hey, while you're at it, hit that subscribe button. It really helps us out. Until next time, thanks for watching.